Welcome to the Last Picture Show with myself, A.Rahim Khan, and an old comrade in arms, Taha Taqi, who very appropriately is wearing bare your chest to not the paying public, but to the viewing public here.
No, I think we should start this over again.
No.
I will,
It's okay. Let the cameras roll. Let them see this.
Okay, wait a second.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be like, when you introduce me, I'm gonna be like,
Go for it.
Okay.
I'm not introducing you again. The cameras are rolling. It's okay.
Oh.
Yeah. The only reason this guy is in the studio today is because, for some inexplicable reason, Taha is a diehard fan of the Snyderverse.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, not the Snyderverse.
Yeah,
Batman v Superman.
No.
I don't like Man of Steel.
Taha, I've known you long enough to know that this is a lie. Okay. But before that...
He just want to hate on me because I like Batman v Superman.
Okay, before we get into that, the reason why we're here today is James Gunn and the new and improved, hopefully, DC Cinematic Universe. DCU, sorry. It's having its first outing on this Friday with Superman.
I don't know what's their first outing. First they made Peacemaker canon.
Yeah.
Put out that shit-ass Creature Commandos.
Actually, I didn't mind Creature Commandos, and I think that's something that I think we're going to get into, because this chat of ours, because we haven't seen the movie yet. We'll be seeing the movie hopefully this weekend, and then right after that we'll be able to give our 2 cents. But the reason why we're here today is, and this is something that's been on my mind ever since I think James Gunn took the mantle of, what is he, Chief Creative Officer? What is he there? What is his title?
He's the co-CEO.
Co-CEO.
Yes.
And with Peter Safran. And
he's the main producer.
Yeah, he's the main creative force behind that. So ever since he's taken the helm of this, I've just wanted to say, shut the fuck up, James Gunn.
Yes.
I normally don't swear.
You are not the star of the show.
Exactly.
The actors are the star of the show.
It's not even that. So the thing is that you and I have been discussing this for a while now.
Yes.
He's become almost, I would say, insufferable. Like every person. So they've been releasing a lot of marketing, for for A, this DCU, number one, but then B, also for the movie itself. So they've been teaser pictures and trailers and this, that, and the other.
TV spots.
TV spots and the Super Bowl things and all of that stuff, that whole Hollywood marketing machine. But every time somebody online has said something about it,
he's there like Superman.
Exactly.
I have to reply.
Faster than a speeding bullet.
I have to reply.
Exactly. I don't understand this guy. And it's exactly this problem. Well, not this, but you remember why he was fired from Disney?
Because of his tweets.
Because of his online, called persona, right? He did Guardians of the Galaxy 1, he did 2, he worked on the other, Avengers movies, he was there as a producer and stuff like that. But somehow or the other, I don't know why he was stupid enough to leave all of those tweets online, all of that stuff, it was still there, right?
Like he didn't do a background check.
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure one of his PR guys should have at least, gone through his history and be like, okay, this is definitely going to get us cancelled.
When he got a big project, didn't he think, should I see what I used to do?
Exactly.
Because if my mother asked me for my phone, and I'm just going to be like, oh, what's my history like?
Forget your mother, it's like your girlfriend is going to go through your history or something like that. It's okay, Taha.
Girlfriends.
Sorry.
Girlfriends.
One day. But I mean, a man in that position, you're in public life, right? You there is no such thing as a private life anymore, right? And considering that the kind of stuff that he even said online was definitely going to raise eyebrows.
Yes.
Right? Again, they kind of explained it this was a persona, and I'm a comedian, and I'm kind of pushing the envelope and all of that stuff. But I would have thought there would have been better sense on his part. But then Disney didn't really, the way they reacted was a very knee-jerk reaction. It was really weird. It's done and dusted. He said it a couple of years ago. You've already done 2 films with him. He's kind of integral to the Marvel voice.
Well, that's because Disney is woke.
Yeah, but I mean, it's false woke because they rehired him like a year
Yes,
later.
so-
Like he was in the doghouse
Because
for a year.
MCU was going down. That's why. They did with Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, exactly. That's a desperate move on their part. But
Now MCU is in the end game. If this doesn't work, MCU, bye-bye.
bye-bye, yeah. So I would have thought that considering that experience with Disney, James Gunn would have avoided being so active online. And the thing is that his activity online, his presence, hasn't really endeared him to the fans. Like, I don't respect him anymore, even though I think as a filmmaker, he's pretty good. He always, and we can talk about it in a second, but just his online presence has just been kind of irritating.
Yes, irritating is the best word.
Yeah, it's irritating because I don't understand why you need to respond. Remember there was that one thing I shared with you, and hopefully it can pop up here. Cillian Murphy as Jor-El.
Oh yes.
Right. Somebody posted that from one of these websites, right? And it was posted on April Fools.
Yes.
Right? And James Gunn is like, no, this never happened, this will never happen. And in 2 seconds you're like, oh guys, you got me, April Fools.
No, I can confirm that he's not playing.
I
was like, man.
mean, get a fucking life.
Well, that's his life.
No, I understand, but the thing is, okay, here's the other thing. Put your money where your mouth is, right?
Yes.
The proof of the pudding in this case is not how you're defending the movie. Like the choice, like what Taha Taqi, remember regarding like the S, the Superman's uniform, all of that stuff. This guy was giving like detailed information.
Yes.
Not even detailed information, responses, rebuttals to everyone online.
कुछ इस तरह के लोग होते हैं जैसे डेविड एस गोयर वगैरह.
हाँ.
जिमली हो गया, जैसे ये ना ट्विटर वगैरह पर एक्टिव है.
हाँ.
ये अगर कोई चीज करे उस पर रिप्लाई करने की समझ आती है.
Right.
लेकिन रिप्लाइंग टू एवरी कॉकरोच दैट्स ऑन द प्लेटफॉर्म.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think, well, this just popped in my mind a few days ago. I was like, maybe this is also a marketing move.
What is the marketing move though? Because you and me, forget me, but like you are more of a DC fan than I am. You were irritated by it, right?
Yes, but the main thing is, there's never been more posts about Superman, tweets about Superman, because everybody's asking me questions, because everybody thinks that he's going to reply to me. So everybody is commenting about the movie. Fair,
maybe, but where I stand on this is that sort of as a creator, as a filmmaker, right, as the chief creative officer or whatever your title is at DC, I don't think, as you said, you should be lowering yourself to be replying to every, as you said, cockroach out there. Why are you doing this? And the thing is that tomorrow your best jawab, your best answer is going to be your movie.
Exactly.
Right? Let the movie come out, and then when critics start shitting on you, maybe you and I may, because by the way, advanced reviews have already come out.
Yes, it's like 91% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, so on IndieWire, for example, on Slash Film, they're like, sorry guys.
Yeah, and can't trust IGN.
IGN I don't trust. I mean,
never ever.
Honestly, man, I respect Rotten Tomatoes, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, because like they gave Miss Marvel a 95% rating, so.
And IndieWire, I don't know. I don't trust IndieWire. Slash Film is better. And AV Club, I need to check. I think I'll check it out tonight.
I don't even know these exist.
Well, now you do. But of course, at least our review is going to wait until we actually see the movie. We are not blessed with advanced reviews.
This Friday.
Well, for you, maybe mine's on Saturday or Sunday, but we'll see. So that was the first thing that I wanted to say about James Gunn. Him as a, filmmaker, I'm not even, because the thing is he writes, he directs, he does all of that stuff. But he is a creative force. And let us be perfectly honest. Without him, Marvel would not have done as well as it should have.
Exactly, yes.
In phase 1 and phase 2.
No, I think he put the base of putting unknown characters into such big, franchise.
And even he proved he was a pilot project. He was like a test case in taking, I wouldn't say he is, prior to all of this big studio success, he was an indie filmmaker.
Yes,
right? And writer with his own voice. So this was a proof positive of taking someone like that putting them into a big franchise or into a franchise movie and seeing what happens. And Marvel proved successful with this particular model.
Yes.
Right? I mean, they were supposed to get, Baby Driver, the director's kya name? Simon Pegg, the guy did, Simon Pegg's, Simon Pegg's partner, the guy who did the Cornetto series, all of those movies, Shaun of the Dead and all of those. What's that guy's name?
The Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz guy, yeah. This always happens to be on air. They were supposed to get that guy. That guy. They were supposed to get that guy for Ant-Man.
Yes.
Right, but then that kind of fell apart. But then they got Peyton Reed. Edgar Wright. Very good.
Yes.
They were supposed to get him. That didn't work out. But then they got Peyton Reed. Ant-Man was still a pretty good movie.
Yes.
Come on. The Russo brothers. Until that point, what had the Russo brothers done that was worthy of them to be brought in to direct Captain America? Nothing, right? But again, they proved the point. And James Gunn, I think, was that test case, and he did very well.
Well, I think Marvel had a better run when they were, testing things in the start.
Yeah.
Them testing things now isn't working well for them.
Well, look,
so
Thunderbolts we both saw. We saw Thunderbolts.
Yes.
I gave my review, and you guys can check it out here. I liked it.
It was a very solid movie.
100% compared
not
to
a great
Captain
movie, not a very good movie. It was so much better than what's out there right now.
Captain America: Brave New World. It was much better than that.
Yes.
Like if you were going to relaunch, what's it called, Marvel, right? This is Marvel Phase 5 now.
Yes.
If you were going to do that, I would have done it with Thunderbolts instead of Brave New World.
The
Brave New World I would have made into a TV show.
Yes.
Like an hour-long TV show,
Yes.
and that's it. I would have never given it, the status of a movie.
The standalone movie.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't deserve it. The story didn't deserve it.
Because what about one episode with the character of Giancarlo Esposito? That would have been
Your
great.
favorite.
Oh, he killed it in the movie.
No, of course.
Such a great actor.
Well, I have something to say about that as well, but maybe some other time. So, and ever since, now when he had that sort of wilderness period, James Gunn, where he went from Marvel, he went and did Peacemaker.
Yes.
Right? Then they hired him to do the whole DC, head DCU. Then he came back and did Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Right?
But it wasn't revealed at that time that he was helming the...
Yeah, he was going to be helming that, but I'm sure discussions were going on in the background. But
the studio came to him for Superman in 2019.
Yeah. I mean, they've been shopping around for a while because we know the DCU, the DC cinematic universe. That failed completely.
They were desperate.
Yeah, they were desperate. They were desperate, as I think Marvel is right now. But look, to James Gunn's testament, like you mentioned, Creature Commandos.
Yes.
Have you seen it all?
Yes, I've seen it all. It was good. It was a good time killer, but not a good piece of show that I would take some time to actually watch it.
But you see where I think that this guy's talent shines through. You know that one episode with Weasel?
Yes.
I thought that was so well done. Because the thing is that in, Suicide Squad? He was in that and they portrayed him as this killer sort of mutant animal thing, whatever, right? In this, he gives it backstory, Weasel, and it turns out that he's not that person. So the thing is that underlying to all of James Gunn's work is heart.
The same thing he did with Rocket Raccoon.
Rocket Raccoon, exactly. The same he did with that robot in Creature Commandos. Right?
The GI.
GI, what is it?
Okay, that robot.
That robot, exactly. He gives these characters heart.
Yes.
Right? I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 had people in tears. It was a hard movie to watch.
It was really hard.
Even Peacemaker, despite the outward sort of racism of the character, the outward chauvinism of that character, he is fundamentally somebody who's been abused by his father.
Well, I didn't. That was a spoiler for me.
Sorry.
I didn't watch Peacemaker. I just only watched 3 episodes and I shut it down.
I'm sorry. But look, that is where I think this guy's talent lies.
Well, the main thing that
he's got a great sense of humor, a great twisted sense of humor.
Have you seen Super? His older movies?
Super. No, I have not. Slither, that was the last one I saw, the earlier one. Super, I have not seen.
That was like the body horror movie.
Yeah. The body horror movie,
body
exactly.
horror,
Yeah. Super was the one with Rainn Wilson, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Rainn
No,
Wilson.
I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen it.
It was a good dark comedy.
Right. So this guy is really good at that. Like
Yes.
he's got a comedic voice. There is no doubt about that. And who would have thought, like, a raccoon on top of a tree,
Yes. There would be such a great
cackling
duo.
with that machine
Yes.
gun like that, dude. That had everyone in the.
The Beastie Boys and the montage.
Yeah.
In the third one.
Like the use of the music.
Yes.
All of that stuff. I mean, he has that.
I mean, I didn't even know that music existed in 1970s. At that time when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, and I was listening to Awesome Mix Volume Tape 1.
Yeah.
Every day was on repeat. Such good songs.
Man. All of that stuff. That entire album is iconic.
Yes.
Right? Suicide Squad, I didn't like too much. I mean,
Acha?
nay. Did you like it?
I loved it.
Really?
Because the whole time I was watching it, I was comparing it to the last Suicide Squad.
Oh, the last Suicide Squad was
It was a shit
a
show.
bloody mess.
It was a shit show.
It was a shit show. I mean, I don't know what they're playing around with that. I mean, then when the director later on when he came,
बेचारे डेविड एयर को कोई कह दो बस कर जाए
बेचारा।
अभी तक पोस्टें कर रहा होता है कि यार मुझे अपना कट रिलीज करने दो
well, he's in this thing. Yeah, Snyder got his. So maybe Netflix will come around and maybe help me out. But it wasn't like you had shit characters,
Yes.
right? The cast wasn't that great,
Yes.
right? The story, I have no goddamn idea what that story was about. And the thing is that ek banda hota hai, 2 minute ke baad he's like dead. You know that poor character with the
Slipknot.
Slipknot.
What the hell was even that?
What was that, man?
I mean, there was no build-up, there was no emotional attachment to that guy, and he just died. Nobody cared.
Yeah. The less said, the better about that. I don't know why, but then I mean, look, it's something to say that for me, like the best thing out of the DC cinematic universe was Aquaman 2. That was my favorite. I love that movie.
I mean, this guy bothered to watch Aquaman 2.
Dude, I love that movie. It was so much fun. It was Jason Momoa just like doing his thing, and usko bhi he knew.
He knew.
This is it, man. This is my last ride. You better have like a good time. And
Actually, he also tried the Dwayne Johnson thing. He tried to like put Batman into it.
right,
He even shot some scenes with it.
look, man.
But it was.
I
the
have to
last
say
one.
this. I thoroughly dislike Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock.
Yes.
Right? He has had a
that
shit career.
Tom Cruise persona. That he's the great guy.
He's the man.
Yes.
Honestly, there was a time I remember when he was in the first Fast and the Furious. I was like, you know what, man? This is Dwayne The Rock Johnson. This guy, the helicopter's there. Wo uthate hai the machine gun. How are you firing it? Nobody knows. And I was like,
It was
wow,
wireless.
man. Exactly.
Wireless.
By his command, it started firing.
The Bluetooth device
Exactly.
is connected,
It's connected.
successfully.
And I was like, you know what, man? Great. But this guy, I have not seen a single movie of his besides Pain and Gain.
I haven't seen that one.
I-
I've seen that in bits on television, but not in like one sequence.
Oh, no. But that is, I think, for me, I mean, he's starring a new movie called, what is it called?
With the Martin Scorsese one.
Not the Martin Scorsese one, the other one, the Safdie brothers.
Oh, where he's a boxer.
The pounding,
The machine something.
something, the machine, yeah, some
Yes.
machine type thing, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
But I think that was the only movie in which I actually had some respect for
Yes.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Otherwise, this guy has had a shit career, right? And I am so glad that Black Adam failed miserably.
Yes. Well, a huge shout out to Safdie brothers. Such great directors.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to what they have to do with
Yes.
this guy. But Black Adam, oh my God, man. And do you think putting in Henry Cavill, us bichare ke saath to itna... Henry Cavill has been done so wrong by Hollywood.
अच्छा मुझे इस चीज़ की नहीं समझ आई. Marvel put him as a cameo as the Wolverine, and I think I'm the first guy to admit it. I think he can become on par or even. I'm out of line here, but I think he can become an even better Wolverine
Than Hugh Jackman. Well,
because he's just got that energy in him. ठीक है, लेकिन उस मूवी में उसे डाल के कह रहे हैं about they're roasting the DCU, ठीक है, लेकिन फिर भी what did they do with him?
man, because
Did they go anywhere with him?
it's such bad timing because the thing is that he had The Witcher going on,
Yes.
right? Then Dwayne The Rock Johnson brings him in for his little cameo. Everyone, people like you, are like, yes, we're getting Cavill back as Superman.
Man of Tomorrow.
Right? He then says no to The Witcher, season 3, I think.
No, 4.
4.
He did 3 seasons.
Yeah, season 4. Right? And then it's revealed that there is no more DC cinematic universe. So, bye-bye Henry Cavill and bye-bye The Witcher. So Superman, The Witcher gone. I feel sorry for this guy. He's been done.
I think that's a Superman effect that's been going on with every Superman.
Yeah, like look what happened to Brandon Routh.
What happened to Tyler Hoechlin?
This is a good, I think, point where we can sort of get away from James Gunn and maybe talk about sort of the Superman canon in general. I really think that in recent years, the best on-screen portrayal, both as an actor and both in terms of writing, has been Superman and Lois. And I'm sure if there are people out there, please disagree with me in the comments. Feel free to.
Nobody will. Because nobody dislikes that show.
That guy is spot on. I can never pronounce his last name. Hoechlin, right.
Hoechlin. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Right. But I remember this guy from, what's it called? That baseball movie he did with Richard Linklater. He was really good in that. And then in between, I remember he was popping up in cameos as Superman in the Supergirl show, which I never watched.
Yes.
I never watched that.
Well, that suit was sick though.
But then when Superman and Lois started, because
he was also in The Legends of Tomorrow, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like he'd pop up here and there, but he never really had his own show. But then when all of the other CW DC shows ended, thank God for that. The Flash. What became of that show?
Season 7 was like Star Wars. On steroids.
Oh my God, forget that, man. But when this started, I was like, let me just give this a shot and see what happens. Because in this, they'd actually forwarded the story. Like, he's a much older Superman. He has teenage sons, blah, 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 and all of that stuff, right?
It was more about Clark Kent than
Yeah, and the thing is that, again, disagree with me, fight me on this, but I don't think that in the past, considering Brandon Routh, Henry Cavill, and Tyler Hoechlin, out of these three, Tyler wins it for me.
Yes.
Tyler is my Superman.
Exactly, because he was blessed with good writers.
He was blessed with good writers, and I think that he portrays Superman exactly as Superman perhaps was maybe conceived to be.
Yes.
A small town guy, like a bit of a doofus, a geek when he's Clark Kent.
अच्छा इसमें एक चीज भी चाहिए थी. I think he was the only Superman that looked American and not British.
Nee, but look, Brandon Routh looked like Christopher Reeves.
Yes.
There was that, right?
Yes.
And I thought he was pretty good. I mean, I thought he was a good Superman in a shit movie. Bryan Singer did him wrong.
Yes.
Let's be honest. I mean, Bryan Singer did a wonderful job on the X-Men movies.
Yes.
Right? But that Superman...
But only the first and second one.
No, what about Days of Future Past?
There was also a Bryan Singer?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay.
Dude, that was one of the best.
First Class किसने direct की थी?
First Class was that British director. छोड़ दो.
That British director.
That British director, sorry man.
अच्छा, I was about to say, the only reason I'm interested in Superman, and I have never been more excited and been waiting for a movie since No Way Home.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So,
but let's be honest, we haven't really had a good superhero movie since No Way Home.
Yes. So
I mean, name me one. Name me one good superhero movie since No Way Home.
That had such a hype. No.
Not even hype. That at least was... Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse Part 2.
Don't consider that. That was kind of an animated movie.
Okay, fine. Let's not consider that.
But it wasn't even that good. I talk about Across or the Into the...
Across the...
Across wasn't that good.
Chalo, okay, but let's... Okay, that's animation. That's animation. Chhod do. But as a live action, I don't think anything has come close to No Way Home.
Yes. So I was saying, the moment I saw Superman and Lois, I got to know that Superman is like a really interesting character.
Oh yeah, listen.
Because before that, he was just like that stoic superhero that has no emotions.
No, but you see, that's where I think the writers have failed to actually live up to the source material, which is the comic books.
Yes.
Anyone who's familiar with the comic books, growing up reading them, anyone familiar with even for example, his animated portrayals.
Yes.
Like, just go to Superman the Animated Series. Nothing comes close to that. I mean, I will
speak Superman.
I will even go far as saying this, that even the Richard Donner, like Christopher Reeve's Superman, doesn't quite capture Superman's
Yes.
essence the way that Superman the animated series does.
did. And him in Justice League animated series.
I mean, it was a continuation of
Yes,
that.
it's the same thing.
It's the same
universe.
thing. The same goes for Batman. Batman the animated series.
Oh.
Somebody tell me, I mean, everyone says that Nolan's Batman, right? But nothing comes close to the portrayal of Batman Bruce Wayne in Batman the animated series.
Exactly.
And how difficult is it just to take that and put it on screen?
I mean, even one episode, uski jo Mr. Freeze wali episode thi,
हाँ,
that
हाँ.
can be turned into a whole movie, and it
Yeah,
can be Oscar nominated.
There are so many bits and pieces in that. I mean, I Am the Night, for example, that's
Oh.
iconic. But there's this one particular episode in which both Batman and Robin are being hunted by these mobsters, and they're caught up, and like, you know, they're down to like their last, like, you know,
They're tied up.
no, they're not tied up. Like, you know, they are. I think they're stuck in, like, you know, what's it called, the subway or something like that. And they've run out of their gadgets and stuff like that. And you know, Batman looks at Robin and he's looking at that stuff. That was like, wow, man. That is again the essence.
Capturing the essence of
exactly.
the
That is like, honestly, taking that Batman essence and putting it in the perfume. That is what Batman the animated series is. It's like
Exactly.
distilling that essence into this concentrated form, and that is what it was. And nobody's been able to do that. We've gotten all of these things, like, for example, Snyder went real hard.
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Yes. He went real hard with one concept. He forgot about all the other things that Batman is.
Forget Batman, even Superman.
Yeah, Superman too.
He forgot who Superman was.
Worst portrayal of Superman ever.
Are you sure about that? Dude, I've been hearing for like years from you about how you love.
I love Batman v Superman.
But Batman v Superman is a continuation of that same Superman who he introduced us to.
Okay, so keep it apart. Keep this as a standalone Superman. ठीक है, जो comics वगैरह से different है. It's a good movie, ठीक है.
I'm gonna turn my chair away from you.
It's just a
and
badass
look
movie.
there.
It's so badass. Oh, man.
In what way?
The way that when the whole courtroom, like, it explodes, Superman doesn't even try. He's just mewing. Like, this is aura farming.
Aura farming. I've never heard of that phrase.
Oh, I'll tell you later.
Please don't.
Well, getting back to the James Gunn thing, I think I have so much high hopes for this movie because James Gunn knows how to put emotion into a movie.
Yeah.
And that's what Superman has been lacking.
I
That's
agree
the
that.
only thing
I agree
he's been
that.
lacking.
That
He
is a
hasn't
very
been
good
lacking
point.
action. He hasn't been lacking good portrayal.
Yeah.
He's just been lacking good writing with emotional depth to the character.
I think
And-
that should be the byline. I'm gonna put that
Yes.
in the description here. I couldn't have put it better. Thank you. I couldn't have put it better myself. When I said that Zack Snyder went hard, he went to extremes with that character.
He
And I-
portrayed a very cinematic Superman.
That's fine, but I think that sort of, maybe it was the influence of Nolan, right? But
Because
then
Nolan co-wrote the movie.
I wouldn't say he co-wrote the movie.
He did
was,
with David S. Goyer.
yeah. Look, I don't know. I don't know who to give credit to.
No. Iski मैंने
Okay,
recently
first of all,
video देखी है.
regarding David S. Goyer, fuck that guy. I
fuck
hate
that guy.
Goyer. I hate Goyer for a couple of reasons. Primarily because, and I know I'm sort of being
Dark
on
Knight
a-
Rises?
No, I'm on a tangent here. He fucked Foundation. I don't know if you've seen this. It's an Apple TV show. It's an adaptation of Isaac Asimov's seminal series. And for someone like myself, I'm sorry. He ruined it for me.
Okay.
He ruined it for me. Okay. And then what's it called? While Blade 1 and Blade 2, Goyer wrote those as well.
Oh.
But Blade 3,
Trinity.
oh my God, such a bad movie. The worst movie you could ever. No, you don't do that to Wesley Snipes. Sorry. No. Okay. Now regarding what's it called? Snyder's take on Superman, right? And when I said he went really hard, he extracted that emotion, as you said.
Yes.
That sort of emotional core that we all know Superman to be.
Yes.
Right? Because at the end of the day, he is a farm boy, right?
Exactly.
At the end of the day, he is this small town boy. You know, he's raised in small town America, right?
Forget that, like he's
No,
dead.
but-
He's telling him he should have let all those children drown.
Really? Kevin Costner's like,
Yes.
he could have picked it. He could have literally picked, you know.
And nobody would have seen him because they
Nobody-
were all looking at the tornado. Like, it doesn't make sense. He could have just like put his. अच्छा, Superman अपनी हाथ उसकी जोड़ की आंखों पे नहीं रख सकता था. Even if his hand got burned.
It wouldn't have hurt him that much.
Like, why Snyder?
Don't do
Why?
it. Don't do it. Dude, I remember coming out of that movie. It 2013 release, right?
Yeah, you told me you came out.
And for the next 2
Cracking
hours, dude, I laughed so hard. During the movie, after the movie, I must have lost at least 2 pounds in water weight.
Well, I was 11 years old, so
Well,
I didn't have that much,
Sorry.
I was just a kid, so I was like, wow.
What?
बाप को मरने दे दिया उसने. ये तो बड़ा emotional हो गया. And now when that was the first time I watched the movie, and I watched it again in 2024, and 40 minutes into the movie, I was like, so I was telling my friend about the movie. I was making him watch Batman Superman, but I was making him watch Man of Steel just for the context. And he was like, bro, what is this movie? And I was like, yeah, what is this movie? And I was like, man, fuck it, let's watch Brokeback Mountain.
How do you go from watching Man of Steel to Brokeback Mountain?
Because I was
That's the
watching
Snyder
it.
effect.
Yeah,
That's the Snyder effect.
That's the Snyder effect. I think this should be a short.
It's definitely going to be a short, don't worry. Oh, man. Snyder, a lot like James Gunn, doubled down on his mistakes. Like James Gunn, in the past year, ever since they released the first teasers, I think they started, remember? They released the first...
Teaser. And
not even a teaser, it was a picture of Corin Sweat as Superman,
Yes.
putting on his boots, right? And that's when it started.
Yes.
Right? Because people just started online. I mean, you've got your
The
trolls.
the worst first picture ever to be released of a character.
Right.
Of that picture.
And the trolls started, right? But first of all, let's talk about casting. With all
Yes.
due respect to Corin Sweat, because I've only ever seen him in Twister, in that movie that came out last year. That's the only thing I've ever seen this guy in. Until that point, I'd never heard of him.
Yes.
Right? So with all due respect to him, I wish
Did you
him...
see him in Twisters before he was cast as Superman?
No, I knew I knew he had been cast as Superman, and then I saw him pop up in Twisters. I hadn't gone with the intention of watching him in it, right? But I wish the guy the best of luck. But let's be perfectly honest, he's Henry Cavill light.
Yes. He doesn't have that essence of, I don't know, he doesn't have that essence of a celebrity, a star.
Yeah,
Like Henry Cavill is.
like Henry Cavill.
I think he's weird.
Who?
I've seen hour-long interviews of David Cornside. I think he's weird.
Okay, I haven't really
I just
gone
don't
to those
adore
lengths.
that guy.
I haven't gone to those lengths.
But watch the new 16-minute interview with him. This is the thing that I've been wanting to say since I've seen that. The new casting,
Yeah.
they literally know their shit.
Oh, they do.
Just watch the 16-minute
Okay, they're talking.
video.
Right.
Like he explains the character of Superman that has never even popped up in my mind. And I was like, man, the actor knows that well how much would James Gunn would know about the character.
Listen, no one's doubting their
Rachel
credentials.
Brosnahan, she knows a lot about.
Okay, I was going to get to her in a second, but just a little about Corin Sweat first. Listen, again, I can't judge him before actually seeing him on screen. Once I do, I'll be able to tell you whether or not he stands up in sort of that long list of actors who have portrayed Superman on screen, right? We'll see how he fares, right? Because there's a very long list. But honestly, I think you and I, even when we saw those first pictures, we were like, yeah, man, it's Henry Cavill light, right? It's like the Toyota Yaris of Superman castings. That's a Pakistani joke. I don't think anyone else will get that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wasn't too enthused by it. Rachel
Brosnahan.
Brosnahan. I mean, is she an improvement on Amy Adams? I didn't like Amy Adams. I found her really irritating.
Oh man, she was such a pain in the ass in the
I found her
movie.
really irritating.
Her nose, oh man, she's really irritating.
That's on him. That's not on me. But I liked her in like Arrival.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's a Denis Villeneuve, what's it called, adaptation of a Kenny. Denis Villeneuve.
Denis Villeneuve.
If I'm pronouncing that correctly. Maybe
Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah. So I liked her in that. But as Lois, no.
I mean, she's hot. I don't know what else to say. In the movie, she's not that hot. In the red carpet and stuff like that, she's got those really.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Okay. But like, what's it called? Who else? I mean, then you had the lady, the lady who portrayed Lois in Thing, Superman and Lois. I don't know about
Trust me, she looked like a Pakistani girl from DHA. Trust me.
That's another Pakistani joke to our international audience out there. I don't think you'll get this, but it's an in-joke. Maybe you'll have to come here first to explain it to you.
But that was pretty accurate.
It was a pretty good one. So I didn't like her in that. The animated series one was cool. I liked her.
Oh yes.
Who else? Then of course there was the original one who was just like the Christopher Reeves one.
A stripped down version of what's that actress's name?
It just she was very shrill in that. I didn't like that Lois Lane. I don't know if there's ever been. And then there was what's it called, the Brandon Routh one. That lady.
Oh, like I think she was close to that animated series, but she wasn't that good.
Yeah, I don't think they've been unable to nail Lois Lane. A good Lois Lane. Which is a shame because there are very good actresses out there.
Yes.
But I don't think it's the actress's fault, it's the writing's fault. Like, look, on paper, Lois Lane is ballsy, right?
Yes.
She's very take charge, right? She is a Pulitzer Prize winning journalist. She goes toe to toe with, like, Lex Luthor and, like, crime bosses and this, that, and the other. So on paper, it's very hard to get it wrong.
Yes.
Like, it's very easy to get it wrong.
Yes. So this is for the viewers, like, he might not know about this. Like, Mary Jane in Spider-Man, the PS4 game, that kind of writing for Lois Lane should be needed. Let's hope James Gunn did that.
Let's see. Okay, and then very quickly on Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor, it's that actor.
Nicholas Hoult.
Nicholas Hoult, exactly. Who looks like Mamoon Sabri. Sorry, that's another in-joke, sorry. I like the actor. He's a good actor.
I loved him in The Menu.
Yeah. The Nicholas Hoult is a good actor. Ever since his days on Skins, I've been following this guy. He's a pretty decent actor. So let's see what he does. Jesse Eisenberg as fucking Lex Luthor? Man, no. I
one was there to save me from the fist of the abomination. Look at this. The blood of my hands. Your doomsday. Now God bends to my will. What was that, man? He was more like the Green Goblin in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't know, like, where did he come up with the character?
Yeah, man, that was like, it was hard
Senator?
to watch.
I think this should be upside down. Devils don't come from hell beneath us. No, they come from the sky.
See, I'm telling you, this guy loves those movies.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he does. He's admitted it finally on camera. But yeah, man, Jesse Eisenberg, I hope that he went into therapy after that. Because
that's why he's in Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Because he has nowhere else to go.
Well, the movie that he last wrote and directed was nominated for an Oscar.
Yes, and that guy won too.
Yeah.
The Home Alone's brother.
Macaulay Culkin's brother, yeah. Kieran Culkin,
yes.
Yeah. So, Gene Hackman as the original Lex Luthor was good. But Gene Hackman is Gene Hackman.
No, the animated series Lex Luthor is the Lex
Oh,
Luthor.
yeah. Look,
He's
the animated series is not even the gold standard. It is the
primitive standard.
Not even, no. Primitive is like, no. It is like, look, nothing can top the animated series. And the Lex Luthor in that,
It's
I remember
like the
there was this
blueprint.
meme online. They're like, Lex Luthor is not white. He's definitely black
Yes.
because of his big lips.
Yes.
It was Clancy.
And his curvy bald
Yeah,
head.
exactly. And Clancy Brown with that voice, right? The voice casting was amazing for that. They were like, this guy definitely has some mixed blood in him. But that Lex Luthor, nobody has that menace.
Look at Kevin Spacey. He was such.
Yeah, Kevin Spacey was just bad.
He was downright bad.
He was bad.
How many more Lex Luthors do we have?
We had
Live
okay.
action.
This what's it called? The Lois and Superman and Lois wala guy. He was really interesting. This was a very interesting take.
Shave his head, he'd look like him.
He was a very interesting take. I'm forgetting this guy's name, but he's the same actor who's in Band of Brothers, Walking Dead. He's a pretty good actor.
Oh, yeah,
Michael Cudlitz, I think that's his name.
I don't know his name.
It's something
Michael
like
Cutlets.
Yeah. But this was a really interesting take
Yes.
because the thing is that he was really heavy metal.
Yes.
Whenever he's on screen, he's like in a leather jacket, like
He was like David Raymond from Disturbed. He was like,
oh wow,
He was like that guy.
But it made sense for the character somehow.
yes.
I never expected them to write Lex Luthor because originally Lex Luthor has always been from money. Like his father was rich.
Well, I think that.
Oh
was,
wait, I'm sorry, we've been forgetting at least one other portrayal of Superman, and that was Tom Welling in Smallville.
Was he a Clark Kent or Superman?
He was okay. The latter, the series changed a lot later on when they started when he becomes Superman, and you have the Teen Titans. That was so stupid. But the first 2 or 3 seasons, when it was just him as Clark Kent, discovering who he was.
With that red flannel shirt.
Yeah, exactly right. And then of course you had Michael Rosenbaum.
Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah,
Yes.
as Lex Luthor. He was a good Lex Luthor. No, he was. He was definitely a good Lex Luthor. And Tom Welling as Clark Kent, good.
Yes.
These two were also pretty good. And then Ma and Pa Kent, also pretty good. Right?
Big approval.
But I really have to give the writers, credit for the way they wrote Lex Luthor on Superman and Lois.
Yes. Well, my main thing for that, guys, because in the comics, Lex Luthor has always been, he had an armor and he fought Superman.
No, forget even the armor, but this guy was like a thug.
Yes, he looked like that he could take on Superman with a suit.
Exactly.
But all of these other Lex Luthor, they're skinny and they're like these rich dudes. They don't look like they could take on Superman.
Well, your man Giancarlo Esposito voices him on thing.
Matt Winston is Superman.
No, on what's it called? Poison Ivy and क्या उसका नाम है यार? Ivy and Harley Quinn,
Yes.
the animated series,
Yeah, where they're
and then
lesbians.
also on Kite Man.
Kite Man?
Kite Man's a really good DC cartoon or animated show.
haven't even heard
Oh
of
no, you gotta watch it.
Kite Man.
Exactly, nobody's heard of the poor guy Kite Man.
Do you know there's a static show?
Static Shock? Yeah, I know.
I just got to know like 3 days ago.
Yeah. But Giancarlo voices Lex Luthor. He has the voice.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's pretty good.
So is he black?
That's a good question.
Is he black?
Is he black? Is Lex Luthor black?
In Poison Ivy, that show, is he black? Like
No,
the character?
no. He has that sort of. He doesn't look white.
Oh, okay.
Let's just say that.
Well, in the animated show, he looked Hispanic more than black.
Yeah, I mean, look, there was definitely something. They say in English, and this is a really bad thing to say, the touch of the tar brush. कि थोड़ा सा there's a little मिलावट है. There's a little bit of thing in him, so you never know.
Remove the white from the audio.
Yeah, exactly, right? So there is that.
Let's talk about crypto. Crypto.
Honestly, even in the comics, I found the very idea of crypto to be really stupid.
Well, there's one thing that I think
I've never understood. I mean, maybe it was a merchandising thing and they needed to have Crypto the dog, like you can still find Lego sets for Spider-Man and his car.
yes,
Right?
his Dune buggy or whatever that spider buggy.
So that's like a merchandising thing, so maybe crypto is
And the fun thing about spider buggy is it like sticks to the walls.
it defeats the whole purpose of Spider-Man, because Spider-Man can literally not fly, but he doesn't need to stay to the
With one swing like this, and he has to climb on the walls with that vehicle, like that Batman, the Batwing thing in Justice League. Oh, what the fuck was that?
Which one?
The Batwing, when they're in the tunnel fighting Steppenwolf, and then
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
But look, I mean, sort of ever since Batman was conceived, him and his gadgets were a thing. So like he had a bike, he had a boat, he had the Batwing. So there's always been these things. Then I mean, for example, in Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, he had a tank.
Yes.
Right?
That was also portrayed in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah. So I mean, we've always had these things for Batman. It makes sense.
But that didn't make sense. That the tunnel thing.
The Batwing,
I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
So yeah, one thing that I would
about
like to
crypto,
say,
yeah.
It's not about crypto, but I saw this video. Like it was a mother recording her son, and he was just playing with Superman toy, and he was saying, "Look up, he's flying." I mean, I think that's what Superman has been lacking. Connecting with kids. Kids knowing about Superman, loving him.
They tried that, don't you remember?
With?
When the mustache gate.
Oh yes.
Don't you remember that whole thing?
Have you ever fought a hippo?
I think after after Man of Steel, everyone realized that, wait a second, Superman just killed somebody.
Yes.
How do we make this guy Big Blue, right? How do we turn him back into who we know and love in the comic books as a nice guy, right?
And what they did was, but I'm also a very big fan of justice.
So they get poor Henry Cavill, who's shooting Mission Impossible at the time, and he has a mustache. And yeah, exactly. That's it.
What a great movie, Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah,
we love Tom Cruise.
We love Tom Cruise. And they take him there, and and he's contractually obliged to not shave off the mustache.
Yes.
So thanks to really, really poor special effects, they try and, man, you could have done a better job than that, man, sitting at home.
Well, AI is great now. In 2017, it wasn't.
No, but you don't need AI for that. You have
I mean, now anybody at
you
home
have
can do it.
studios full of what's it called, CG artists who could have literally picked away his hair, like his mustache hair by hair.
And they paid $80 million for the reshoots.
Right. For like what? What was that, like a 2-second intro? A 10?
It was a 15-second.
15-second thing.
Have you ever fought a hippo?
And that's what Superman's always been lacking, at least of late.
Yes. So when I watched that video, I was like, maybe this Superman will have a cultural impact that he's been lacking all this time.
I don't know, man. I don't know, because the thing is that first of all,
because James Gunn is doing very clever marketing. That I will say.
We will see. Look, the proof of the pudding, right? All of this right now is conjecture. Until and unless we see the movie and you and I walk out how we're feeling at the time, that's what's going to make or break the movie for you or me.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I know that James Gunn will put some great music in it, so I'll feel good about it. I was sold in Guardians of the Galaxy when it opened with Creep by Radiohead. I was like, this is the best Marvel movie ever.
The first movie when they had red bones.
Oh, come and get your love.
Exactly. Nothing will ever top that. I mean, as using, nothing will top that.
So, like, I love a lot of like cinema, old movie stuff like that. But among all those directors, James Gunn is in my top 3 because he's had that emotional, gut-wrenching, feeling.
Yeah,
that I don't think anybody else captures that.
I think
like Christopher Nolan did in Interstellar.
Listen, and the reason why I respect him, Gunn, is that despite these outward trappings, because again, these are commercial movies, these are popcorn movies.
Yes.
You don't expect that level of emotion, that depth
yes.
to these characters, and yet he produces it.
Yes.
It was a master stroke in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, that whole storyline, Rocket's storyline, him and his friends.
It came full circle.
Oh, it came full circle, but even that story of him and his friends in that pathetic condition they're in the cages, and then they die, poor things. I mean, people were crying in the cinema, man. I
am literally having goosebumps right now thinking about that sky scene.
Yeah, man. It was
the way they named him Rocket.
Yes.
I'm literally having goosebumps.
Literally. And that's where, you've got to give credit to the guy.
Yes.
I just hope that he has not, because now, again, I am not going to base my, critique of Superman on what other critics have said, but a lot of them have said that if Snyder went right field, this guy has gone so far left field that he's made it almost goofy. That was one headline that I read today, right before coming to the studio.
Same here.
I wonder, where it's going.
Well, on that point, what do you think of that scene? Hey, buddy. You don't watch trailers.
Yeah, I'm the wrong guy to speak.
So the people are saying that he's just the Star-Lord version of Superman.
I literally have not seen anything. The only things I'll tell you, okay, and this is I think going to be an entire show.
He's been talking about Superman for the last 40 minutes and he hasn't even watched any footage from it. He hasn't watched any trailer.
I don't. I mean that's going to be another show.
He's the newspaper guy because he's been reading newspaper all his life, so he just reads articles.
I don't watch trailers. I don't watch trailers.
So he's in his tank top late at night his late is 9 p.m. so he's in his bed reading like an uncle like this.
Yeah, exactly. Not even on a tablet, on a newspaper.
On a newspaper, yes. He prints it out.
So I think we can end it on this note that James Gunn should be denied one of these. If he has one of these, his PR people, DC, whoever, they should literally just take this away from him and say no phones for you for at least the next month. Because now the hate is going to start. Yes. Even if the movie is good, there are going to be people out there who are going to shit on it.
Well, what is he going to say to the bad comments? No, it wasn't meant like that.
It wasn't. Remember that one? Oh my God! Remember that one shot of Superman flying
and his eyes
look kind of wonky. Oh my God! There was this whole paragraph from this guy about perspective and
the aerial shooting, the new camera that he has made. Produce.
Shut up! This exactly sounds like that guy, Andy Muschietti. Right. The guy who directed The Flash.
Oh my God.
Right?
It was The Flash's vision. That's why all of those were 3D.
Oh my God. You. Shut up.
One more thing. The cinematographer of this movie is from The Flash. Oh man. That's the only worst part that I'm just hoping.
Listen, what I'm going to give James Gunn, because he has given me good, rewarding experiences in the past, I'm going to go into this movie with no preconceived notions.
Exactly.
No expectations whatsoever. Right?
Well, I've been doing your thing. I haven't been reading a lot of reviews, not watching the new TV
Yeah. Don't do any of that.
I just don't want to watch anything.
Don't any of that. It'll just spoil the movie for you.
Yes. So the people were like, there's going to be Jor-El he is being played by Bradley Cooper in this movie.
Oh, really?
Yes. He confirmed it. James Gunn confirmed it.
Really?
Well, on the premiere, after the premiere, they do interviews with that guy.
Right.
So the guy who had watched it, he was like, so we have seen Bradley Cooper as Jor-El, and he was like, yeah, he is Jor-El.
Dude, that was a spoiler for me. What are you doing?
Oh, you don't watch interviews.
Look at this guy. I think we're just gonna have to end it right here. Thanks a lot, Taha. Catch you after the movie.
Yes. Stay tuned for the review of Superman.
Last Picture Show. Thank you very much.